Hey everyone, here is a new art journal page. This is the last page in my altered mail journal. So yeah, this one's done. The next video after this should be the cover. I'm done with the cover, I believe. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure I'm done with it. So right now I am just gluing down, or actually I'm pulling out some Tim Holtz grunge board letters. I have a whole ton of these, and using some gel medium, some of the soft gel medium, to glue them to the page. As you'll notice, the page has not been gessoed, so you can see all of the fine products offered by Shutterfly, who is not a sponsor, as I have no sponsors other than my paycheck, which is sad. So yeah, no sponsors. So just gluing these down, and I wanted them random. I didn't want to cover the whole page. I wanted some areas without it. Just playing. I was staying up way too late with a friend who was in town, and my wife is in the room next door, and by the time we were done it was 2 a.m. and she was like, "Could you be a little bit louder? Did you notice that I didn't hear her? All I heard was you?" And if you hear all the noise, it's because whenever I decide to record is when every single individual who lives in my house decides to sit right next to me. So, heads up. There you go. So, okay, so I have all of these letters pretty much glued down. Oh, and then the rest of the people who I know, they call. So, the phone's ringing. Yeah. But guess what? Done with school. So, hooray! So, I can't be grumpy. I'm just finishing this up, trying to find some good random spots to glue these down. 10 to 1, my cell phone will ring next because my wife's not answering the phone, and I don't know where my cell phone is. Oh, there it is. It'll go off. Just wait. So yeah, so, gel medium. This is the soft matte by Golden, and the only reason I'm using this as opposed to something like Mod Podge is because I'm out of Mod Podge. So yeah. So once it was dry, I took the gesso, my Liquitex Basics gesso, and covered the whole page. And as you know, I don't worry too much about getting every single thing covered. You know, there are going to be spots that show you're going to still see pictures through, because gesso is not that opaque. It's not as opaque as, say, you know, titanium white paint. But that's okay. It doesn't bother me any. So I'm going to end up adding so many layers you really don't see anything, and if you do, it just adds background texture. This is like citron green or something. I'm not sure of the color. It's by Amsterdam. I love their paints because they're so vibrant, and I love bright colors. So I just added a little bit of glazing fluid, and just to thin it out a little bit and get a good wash of this color. As you can see, it's super bright and happy. It's awesome. Keep in mind, this was about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Oh, and look in the bottom left-hand corner, there's an A, an R, and a T. That is completely unintentional. Sweet. Okay, so now that I'm seeing this, I may go back and outline those. So yeah, just a heads up, I might change that because I found art in those letters. So neat. Let's see. So what am I doing? Okay, so now I am grabbing for my Lumiere. This is a little tiny bottle I got in an Exciter pack. I want to say this is Halo Blue Gold. And I'm just running a bead across the top of it and then dousing it in water. I just wanted that paint to drip and run and get in some of the letters and around some of the letters, and it's just really fun to see how it interacts with those letters. As you can see, doing it again. I did 2 or 3 of these beads and then drip, bead, drip. I think I may have cut one of them out just to save you guys some time, but that's what I have so far. Okay, so now I have a little piece of cut and dry foam, and by the way, use a makeup sponge because that stuff is expensive, that cut and dry foam. So makeup sponge, yeah, use that. And this is some of the halo, or just gold, old gold, true gold, some kind of gold, and it's also by Lumiere. And I'm just going right over the top of the letters just to help them stand out against the green background. My friend who was sitting right next to me working was saying, "You're not allowed to use purple or teal." And I said, "Awesome, okay, I can do that." So I was like, "You didn't say pink," and she's like, "The pink is implied." I was like, "Oh, oh no, she didn't." Hey, guess what? Cell phone's going off. Sorry, Mom, call you back. Okay, so this is Distress Ink, and it's black soot. And I just swiped it right over the top of the letters once that paint was dry, and then doused it with water. Now what that does is the Distress Ink spreads out with the water, and it kind of surrounds the letters, therefore kind of outlining them and making them kind of grungy and dingy. So I really like how this turned out. I was going to wipe it all off, and then my friend's like, "Oh no, look, I like how that looks. It looks kind of like old metal." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll leave it." Because I was going to wipe it off the top of all the letters and just leave the black around the letters. So, but then I didn't. But I did take a paper towel and kind of wiped off the really super dark areas. See, this is where I'm, yeah, paper towel, dark areas. Because I wanted that gold to show through. I didn't want it to be too dark. And I know I mentioned school was done. I've got like 4 or 5 pages done this week, including my cover. And I started a whole new journal, and I love my new journal size. Someone gave it to me, and the size is awesome. So I think I'm gonna really enjoy working in this journal. It's a little bit smaller, but it's kind of long. So I am using a Stabilo pen, and this is the brush tip pen. I love these pens, these Stabilos. They're really cheap, and they're water soluble. So because I'm writing on acrylic, I can either seal it with a fixative, or I can spray it and wipe it off, which is what I do right here. But look how cool that reacts. Imagine writing something really swirly and then just giving a good spritz and then drying it the way it was. Oh, yeah. So I wiped it off because I didn't like the sentiment for some reason. And I was going to use gold, and I'm like, oh, this is so permanent and so much gold. So I was like, yeah, no. I'm going to go back with my Stabilo. I went with the fine tip, this one. And so I just wrote another message. I'm sure it has something to do with... Oh, it says something about making art does not make you an artist. Enjoying the process, however, does make you an artist. Because the whole point of being an artist is that you love what you do. You do it because you have to do it. I told my wife I got like 10 minutes one day because I had school and work and getting the kid to bed, and I had like 10 minutes, and I came in here and just wrote something down on top of acrylic, and I was like, that was more therapy than I've had in I can't tell you how long. So yeah, it's good therapy. So this is Stays On. It's one of the metallics. It's the gold, old gold, or stained in that color scheme. So you have to ink it up. That's one thing I hate about Stays On. You have to ink it up. It's like, man, I know it's a pigment, it dries out, blah blah blah, but still, it's like, ugh, so much work. So yeah, I inked it up and then started stamping. And I saw someone the other day, and I wish I could remember who it was. Laundry's going off because I'm recording. So you guys have pretty much every single thing that could have gone on in the background today has gone off in the background. So anyway, I am stamping. I saw someone else with these little tiny stamps. They wrote the letter on all 4 sides of the stamp, and that way when they're laying down you can see them without having to look for that little tiny end. So I did that one day when I didn't have much time, but I just wanted to do something when I was cleaning up, so I wrote all of the letters on all the sides of those wood blocks, and now even if they're laying down I can see what letter it is. Again, going back in with my Stabilo, this is the brush tip, and I'm just tracing the enjoy the process. Now because the StazOn is like an oil-based pigment ink, the water-based Stabilo pen kind of beads up on the gold, which is good because it makes it a lot easier to outline. You don't have to be as neat. Yeah, that was cool. That worked out. So I was done with that. Then what do I do? Oh, I've taken to signing things. So yeah, sign my name. I don't know what else I wrote down there, but there you go. So this was another day. I saw there's a tag in the upper left-hand corner. I made this tag a long time ago, and I love this tag. It's one of my favorite tags. It's got like orange and blue and green, and I was like, oh, orange! I want orange in here. Now a lot of you probably go, really, why the orange? It was probably good before, and I was like, it probably was, but I wanted orange. I'm normally not an orange person, but I've been into orange lately. So this is a food saver roll. It's a little bit thicker, and it's a different size than like a toilet paper roll. So I have a whole bunch of different things that I use for stamps. This is water and Pearl X. Now I know that Pearl X doesn't have a binder in it. At some point I'm going to get some Mod Podge in there, but yeah, eventually. So it's good enough. It's not going anywhere. So there is the page, texturized and orange and blue and teal and green and gold. It's great. So I hope you liked it, and hope you'll stick around for the cover. I really like how the cover came out, and I hope you subscribe, like, comment, and I will talk to y'all soon since I'm out of school. Bye.